She blamed Ellie for everything, and said she would soon be living on the streets and that she would make sure Ellie's mother would suffer with her. Guda's mother rushed home in a panic and asked her brother what was going on. Her brother said that the house had been auctioned off. The secretary quickly found out who the buyer was, Eula. The old woman said that she shared a name with her daughter-in-law. The secretary said that either the buyer had the same name or your daughter-in-law. Uncle Guda couldn't believe it was true. When she heard this, Guda's mother fainted. Eula told them to move out within 3 days, or else they will have their things thrown out. Lucy scolds her sister-in-law for being so unreasonable. Eula asked them how they had squandered the $3 billion they had been given before marriage. The mother-in-law was instantly speechless. Eula said that you had used the money to buy a car, land and all kinds of luxury goods. The old woman said that most of the money had been invested in the company. But Eula didn't bother listening to the explanations of these people who had cheated in their marriage. She told them to quickly pack their things and leave. The old woman begged Eula not to do this. There is no daughter-in-law in the world who would drive away her mother-in-law. Eula said that it was a good thing that she didn't take you to court. Her younger brother bluntly said that this was definitely retribution. Guda waited in Eula's office. He threw the divorce agreement with the seal on it at him. He told Eula that you were ultimately being led by Ellie. He said that the current incident with the company's accounts was all a ploy by Ellie and your brother to take over the company. He told Eula to weigh the situation for herself. Eula looks at the divorce agreement in her hands and vows to take everything from Guda and his mother. When Guda's mother learns that all of the company's accounts have been frozen, she nearly dies of anger. At this time, her daughter runs in again and reveals that Eula has hired some thugs. They must be driven out. No matter how her mother-in-law begs, Eula remains unmoved. Her mother-in-law asks her what will happen to the baby in her belly. Do you want the child to be born without a father? Eula tells her not to even think about using the child to try to stay together. She went to the hospital for a checkup and thought about Guda's happy face when she first heard about her pregnancy. She seemed to have wavered a little when the father learned that Guda had filed for divorce. He said he agreed to do so. This came as a big surprise to Eula and her mother. The father said, "Since you are so rash, you might as well also quit your job at the company. Let him vacate the office for Ellie." This almost made Guda die of anger. Soon after, he received another call from Ellie, telling him to quickly move the things in his office. Otherwise, it will be thrown away as trash tomorrow. This made the already depressed Guda almost explode in place. When he returned home, he saw his mother and family crouching in the doorway and said that they had been kicked out by Eula. Guda rushed in with them, but was blocked directly by his eldest brother. The few people got into a fight there. Enzo wanted to confirm his identity with Eula's mother. But at this time, Eula's mother resented anyone who was related to Ellie's family and sought Enzo trying to talk to her. She angrily told Enzo to get lost. Disheartened, Enzo had no choice but to go to the hospital for a paternity test. Eula's mother went to Ellie's office and, seeing everything in front of her, angrily swept the flower pot off the table and said, "You think you can fight me?" Just then, 2 men came in and introduced themselves as staff from the prosecutor's office, who had received a report about the black book in her possession. Eula just watched as her mother was taken away. Just as Eula was trying to stop them from leaving, Guda ran over and said that he was the legal representative of the company, and that they should come to him if they had any questions, and that they were not allowed to take the client away without permission. He told his mother-in-law not to worry, that he would take care of everything. In a deserted place, Guda bid farewell to the 2 men. He called to thank the familiar prosecutor. Thanks to him, he had sent someone to accompany him in putting on this good show. Now, let's see if they dare to let him get a divorce and kick him out of the company. Guda's mother had no choice but to kneel before Eula and beg to do anything as long as she was not kicked out of the house. Eula said she would think about it. This scene happened to be seen by her ex-daughter-in-law who had just come in. Ellie asked her if she was very busy at the moment and if she was going to lose her home and her company. "You haven't changed your habit of kneeling to your daughter-in-law." The old woman was so angry that she almost fainted. Eula told her mother to let Guda come back first, but her mother refuses to agree. "That man is full of lies and can never change. Eula says that only he can help us to protect Ellie. Guda knows everything about the black book. Only he can help us to get through this difficult time." Seeing that her mother still objects, Eula tells her to mind her own business and that she will handle it herself. She tells her father that she is not divorcing Guda. Her father scolds her for taking the divorce so lightly. Eula tells her parents that she is moving out. She really can't live with Ellie anymore. No matter how much her mother objects, her father still respects Eula's choice. Enzo, who has received the results of the paternity test, can't believe it's true. It turns out that he is not his mother's biological child. Jack happily goes out and accidentally discovers a photo of himself on the wall. He quickly tears it down and looks at it carefully. It turns out that he is the suspect in Juan's murder. He quickly calls Guda. He knows that Guda must have framed him. No matter what Guda explains, he doesn't want to listen anymore. He said he wanted to tell Ellie about it all. Guda hurried to Ellie's office, but the secretary said Ellie had gone downstairs after taking a phone call. Guda rushed out after her but was too late. Frightened, he flew down the stairs. Gouda watched as Ellie walked towards Jack step by step. Jack even winked at Gouda. Just then the police stopped Ellie. Jack quickly stopped. Gouda took the opportunity to call her and pulled Jack away to a deserted place. But Jack at this time was more eager to kill him. He asked Gouda why he had become a suspect. He knew that it was all Gouda's doing. Gouda said that no one can prove your innocence. For me, it is easy to frame you. Gouda told him that he better cooperate with him or else he will go to jail. Gouda's mother and sister were at home cleaning up. The mother and daughter said that they must please Eula. The younger sister asks her mother not to be so humble and move out to rent a small house. The mother says she can't afford to pay anything now. Eula takes Gouda back home. The mother-in-law rushes forward to greet her with a smile. Eula asks her what she is doing. The mother-in-law says she has done a thorough cleaning to welcome you. Gouda asks her what she is doing here. Eula says she is going to live here from now on. Gouda is very happy to hear this. He thinks that Eula is honoring her mother. The old woman nearly died of laughter when she heard this, but Eula told her to get out. The old woman was very surprised. This is my home. Where should I go if I don't live here? Eula took out the property ownership certificate from her bag. The old woman didn't understand what she meant. Eula told them that the owner of this house is me now. I will live here with Gouda in the future. You guys get the hell out of here. The family couldn't believe it. Gouda was not satisfied and had a big fight with her. Eula told him to leave if he didn't want to. The mother-in-law and Lucy sat there waiting for the verdict. The angry Eula stormed out of the door, ignoring them completely. The mother told Gouda to hurry up and go after her. Eula said she was going back to her own home. You can take your mother and sister and sleep in the street. The scared Gouda hurried after her. Enzo looked at the letter and the paternity report and called Eula's mother. But at this time, Eula's mother was in a bad mood because her daughter had moved out and hung up as soon as she saw it was Enzo calling. Enzo, anxious to know the truth, had to go over there herself to find out for herself. She couldn't hear her mother calling her to dinner. Enzo called her sister to ask if her mother-in-law was at home. Ellie said she was in her room. Enzo hung up without saying anything else. Soon afterwards, she arrived near Eula's house. Eula and Gouda had been arguing the whole way. She couldn't forgive Gouda and naturally wouldn't accept his mother. At this time, Enzo was walking and talking on the phone, not noticing a car coming. The depressed Eula also didn't notice someone in front of her. She just slammed Enzo to the ground. She was so scared that she didn't dare to get out of the car. Gouda hurriedly went down to check on the injured person. Unexpectedly, it was Enzo who was injured. He was so scared that he didn't know what to do. The frightened Eula also got out of the car. Seeing that this person was Ellie's sister, she almost died of fright. Gouda felt the person and found that he was still alive. He told Eula to stay calm. Eula was so scared she didn't know what to do. Gouda told her to go home and he would take Enzo to the hospital. While the two of them were discussing what to do, a passerby walked by. Gouda quickly carried the seriously injured Enzo to the car and told Eula not to worry and to go home and rest. He then drove off. Little did they know that it had all been filmed. The person taking the photos happened to be an old friend of Eula's father. He was invited to Eula's father's house as a guest. During dinner, Eula walked in absent-mindedly and said she needed to go home to get something. She sat there trembling. Her mother asked if there was something wrong. She said she had just hit someone with her car. Her mother was also shocked when she heard. Eula kept shaking in bed. She was afraid that if Enzo couldn't be saved, what would she do? Her mother could only keep reassuring her. The fate of Enzo in the car was still unknown. The letter in her pocket and the paternity test report were also crossed out. Gouda quickly took Enzo to the hospital. Ellie received a call from the hospital saying that her sister had been seriously injured. Enzo was being resuscitated at the hospital. Gouda anxiously waited by her side. When Ellie arrived, she couldn't believe what she saw. Ellie's mother and son also rushed to the hospital when they heard the news. When they saw their young daughter lying in bed, they just couldn't accept it. The doctors tried again and again to resuscitate her. And finally they brought Enzo back. The family was in tears. Gouda quickly ran to the car and removed the memory card from the dashcam. He wanted to help Eula erase it all. The doctor said Enzo had been temporarily rescued. How it would turn out would depend on her own consciousness. The police came to take an accident report. Gouda said he had hit Enzo while driving. Ellie couldn't believe what she was hearing. Gouda told the police that Enzo had been drunk and had rushed towards his car. The family couldn't believe that Gouda, that animal, but still tried to shift the blame. Gouda answered the family and told his mother-in-law not to worry about it. Eula worriedly asked, "Then I become a hit-and-run driver?" Gouda told her not to worry too much. As a lawyer, he would definitely find a way to fix it. The scared Eula had no choice but to listen to him. Ellie passed by Eula's room door and heard her mother-in-law say that if she let Eula off this time, she would restore Gouda to his position in the company. Gouda, who is full of schemes, must win this round. He thinks about the surveillance cameras along the road. No matter what, the fact that Eula was the driver will be made public. Let them think that I took the blame for her. and regain their trust. The old chairman's friend comes to the company to find Junu. Ellie happens to pull Gouda and make him admit that the driver was Eula. Gouda insists that he was the one driving. Chairman Min thinks about the scene of the accident. He quickly takes out his phone to look at the photos he took. Then he thought of Eula's panicked face when she returned home. He was certain that the Gouda in front of him was the man from last night. After Gouda left, President Min walked over to ask Ellie where the injured man was being taken to the hospital. Looking at the little girl lying motionless in the hospital bed,